This article was published in the Columbia Daily Tribune in Missouri on March 4th, 2006. Two photos. The photo at right was taken in the gallery of one of my artworks. This is at Stevens College's art gallery. Laya Letterman with daughters Zosha and Hannah. And the photo on the left, I'm talking with a student about the drawing of Rubinstein, the mime of the Warsaw Ghetto. The article is authored by Marcia Vanderlip of the Tribune staff. I consider it one of the finest articles that's ever been published on my work, in particular because she, in terms of interviewing me, enabled me to discuss moral relativism and bringing the Holocaust out of the past, of the ancient history of World War II, and right into the present. The quote in bold type here states, "With so much racist, religious, nationalistic, gender conflict and hate going on in the world, I hope these drawings offer audiences a means of breaking down divisions." End of quote. That was by me. I'm going to read a couple of other excerpts here. In 2000, Segan's first series evolved into a second. Sightseeing with Dignity includes non-Jewish victims of more contemporary genocide and race and hate crimes. Victims in the Khmer Rouge and neo-Nazis are represented in the Stevens exhibit. Quote, "Unfortunately, there is no shortage of subjects," Segan said during a gallery tour this week. "With so much racist, religious, nationalistic, gender conflict and hate going on in the world, I hope these drawings..." Well, that's the same quote from there. "We see photos in the papers regularly of the starving people in Darfur and the Congo and elsewhere in Africa," he said. Quote, "What are the world's affluent countries doing? The Nazis, quote, forced starvation in the Warsaw Ghetto was not so different," he said. "Learning about the Holocaust should include more than a reading of the diary of Anne Frank," he said. "It is easier to talk about Anne Frank than current events." Segan challenges teachers to address the parallel inhumanities in today's world, such as the squalid refugee camps in the Congo and Darfur, end of quote. "There are a number of instances in which human rights fall prey to political interests," Segan said. "The U.S. government was monitoring dissenters in the late 1960s and 1970s, he said. "Genocide was committed in Vietnam, but hardly anyone talks about it. People, quote, complained about holding people in Stalinist prisons without trial," he said, "but because of national security, Americans are doing this." Quote, "In the course of working on this series, I've become acutely aware of human rights globally in a way I never would have imagined 30 years ago," he said. He calls this the dehumanization of people because of religious, racial, and cultural differences. And there you have it. I'm going to skip to the very end here, another quote from me. "I hope that the drawings are a catalyst for what happens when intolerance reaches a zenith, when bloodshed, war, genocide are at its worst." He said he hopes his art can help, quote, break down ignorance people have about other peoples. "This project was my attempt to restore dignity to the memory of those who were murdered." There you have it. Thank you, Marcia Vanderlip, Gerik Parmele, and the editors of the Columbia Daily Tribune in Columbia, Missouri. Very nice article.